Yeah, can
Go
I
on.
ask, what was your like breaking point for Marvel, for the MCU? You know, so remember, we were once not as jaded as we are now, and we were once just on like the hype train with everyone else, like enjoying every single MCU film that came out felt like an event. What was the film that you were like, this is such a formula now? I think I might be getting a little bit bored of this. Because I know which one it was for me. Because when you just said Doctor Strange, this paint by numbers, it wasn't that film for me. But I was like, oh yeah, do you know what? I remember being in the cinema watching that and coming out and being like, that was a little bit shite actually. What was yours?
I think maybe Ant-Man and the Wasp 2
Okay.
or Doctor Strange. I just remember, or maybe Doctor Strange. I just remember feeling like when I saw Doctor Strange that it was a very formulaic of like I knew the story beats before it was happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe. How about for yourself?
Well, it's Captain Marvel for me. I remember seeing that in the cinema.
And also that was released like in between Infinity War and Endgame, which felt really like this is an afterthought. It felt like an afterthought from the off, and like yeah.
Do you know what I remember? I remember exactly where I was sitting in the cinema. I went to see it in IMAX, sitting on the left-hand side, and I just remember some girl in front of me getting her phone out to film a part of the film and then post it on TikTok to basically show that she was watching Captain Marvel on opening night. And I was like, oh, this is I hate it here. But yeah, so I mean, finally, it was really funny. Like when we covered what's it called, Thunderbolts, we were like moaning about everything about it. Like it was just not like, it was like, oh, it's the cure for male loneliness, the epidemic, like, and all this kind of thing. And I'm like, right, okay, let's just settle down a little bit, take it easy. But this, I was like, I'm not going again. I'm not going to see another film. I'm not going to see another MCU film at the cinema. And then this came out, and I was like, do you know what? This looks pretty good.
I was pestering you as well. I said to you, I think this is. I finally caved to the review. It's the best since Endgame, but I actually said no. I really enjoyed this. I said I don't know where my scale of like how good it is anymore, because we've been baffled by so many superhero films and like how I feel about them. But in terms of like of the Marvel things that I'd seen in recent years, I enjoyed this. I came out, I wanted to watch it again. I thought it visually was really interesting. I think it had cool use of the powers for each person. I like the fact there wasn't a giant laser in the sky. And I'd say the bad guy in this is Galactus, who like devours worlds, so he comes back. There's a bit of an investigation, like Johnny Storm's not just a stud, he actually does some science, and like, I say does some science, he learns the language to help decipher like what's going to happen to Earth, and like it felt like there was a slight bit of investigation. It just felt confident, and I can't really describe to you why, but when you watch it, it feels like they go, we've got something good here, let's go. And I hadn't felt that in such a long time, probably since Endgame. Because Endgame was like where they were like, guys, we're throwing everything at this. This is it. Boom, boom, boom. And to be honest, it should have been, and they should have had a break. And I still think we'd have be talking very differently about all these things if they'd have just done 2 or 3 year gap. They never would have. But if they'd have done a 2 or 3 year gap and then come back, I think we'd be going nuts for it now. And I think we'd feel very differently about it. And also they wouldn't be as creatively stretched as they were, which is why they've admitted they've made poor content. They basically said we over-egged it. And the fact they've even said that is like wild to me. They're like, well, we did too much, and like it was too hard to follow, which it was. And also the amount of end credit scenes that were building to things that never happened. Like there's a load of stuff around about the Eternals now, which I didn't see, but again, I kind of phased out at this point. But there's people being like, no, the Eternals is actually really good, and like it needs to be re-reviewed, and actually, you know, they got cold feet over the wrong things. They didn't want to take it in a new direction. But anyway, by the by, Vanessa Kirby kicks ass in this.
She's brilliant. Yeah,
I think she's brilliant. She's got a really good relationship with Pedro Pascal, because it's not perfect. The whole point of their relationship is the fact of like it is flawed, and like he's so buried in the science and the work that he struggles emotionally at points. Whilst she counters that, but also she can hold her own.
It's actually like someone's actually tried. And that's just really nice to see.